In my 2-year VR survivor world, I have neglected building any farms to provide me with a source of food, forcing me to get all of my nutrition from an old villager breeder I built at my library and trading hall, Enchanted Estates. It's slow, inefficient, and it's finally time for an upgrade. So today, I'm building a completely custom village nestled into our current canyon project. But before we get started on the new trading hall, I want to quickly build a couple farms that we can run in the background for the rest of the video, which will save us a lot of time down the line when we're ready to fill this massive chasm below the canyon. Hey Goobs and Gabs, and welcome to episode 12 of Minecraft VR. As you can tell, I'm still a little sick, but we have a lot to do, so let's hop right into it. Last time, I just finished digging out this giant ravine at the bottom of my canyon, and today we're going to begin the process of getting everything together to fill it up with black concrete and black stained glass to give it a really cool fog effect. Let's get started. So to be able to get all of that glass and all of that concrete, I'm going to need a lot of black dye, and I am talking about anywhere between 8,000 black dye and 10,000 black dye, depending on how grabbing wool goes. So we're going to build a squid farm right near spawn because there's a tiny river biome which is only going to need a little draining to make the farm run properly, and then after that I'm going to get a small wool farm going to get all of the wool for the carpet I need for this canyon. And then after that, I want to take a break from the pit and maybe build some structures in this canyon and get some villagers in there. So right when I first started this world, I needed to get wool for the roof, and it's not a lot, as you can see. So I didn't set up any neat farm because I built this before I built that. If you come down here and take a look, I have some wheat. The reason I built that little wheat farm is for these losers. Once I finished Victory Industries and built a sheep farm inside, these guys pretty much became irrelevant, but now that farm needs an upgrade. Hello. Should I do 5 at a time? I think 5 at a time actually would work better. Okay, there's some of you out. Whoa! Everybody's white. All right, get back on the leads. Seems smooth so far. Okay, is there anything nearby I can lead you to? That works. Hello, friends. You're gonna get some new neighbors after, like, how long has it been? Like 2 years? Come on, guys. Okay, you're gonna fall in, right? No? Can sheep not fit in this hole? Okay. Okay, now you'll come in. There we go. Okay, let's go get these other sheep, but first I want to sleep. Alright, this may take a while, so I'll be back when I get all the sheep into the system. Don't push each other. Don't push each other. No falling, no falling, no falling. Oh, of course you fell. And you're in. Alright, everybody's in. Finally. All of the sheep should be in their pens. And whenever I need to, I can come around and breed to up their numbers. But our efficiency should be a lot better, and when I get the chance, I'll AFK here. But with that done, we can move on to the squid farm to get all the ink we need for all that black dye. And it doesn't take too many resources, but one of them I do not have a single block of, and they're kind of annoying to get. I am going to need to go out to some ocean monuments and find me some sponges, because there's some draining that I need to do. It's not a lot, but sponges are going to make it a lot faster. After a little bit of messing around, I think I'm ready to go to an ocean monument and grab some sponges. I have a hoe to mine everything. I have some potions of invisibility and water breathing. I have a totem with me just in case, and I have food. I have doors just in case I need to get air. I'm not sure if that trick is outdated or not, but I think I have everything. I may have over-prepared, but this is my first time doing this in VR, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. Lucky for me, I know about the exact location of 2 ocean monuments. I actually know a couple more outside of that, but today I think we're only going to visit 2. Look how cool that pit is from here, dude. Okay, there's the ocean monument. All right, before I even get close, I'm going to drink my water breathing. All right, let's see if I even need to use invisibility. I might just be able to swim in, find the room I'm looking for, and fight off the guardians that I need to. All right, let's do this. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Ah!
We're in. So let's try to keep myself oriented. All right, so there's a chance for there to be a sponge room. I am not familiar with these places at all. No sponge room inside. Oh, hello, Guardian. Oh yeah, I forgot there's 3. Okay, another one. Oh my goodness. You guys are eating at my health. Okay, all right, I want to try something. Let's see how well this goes with invisibility. If I take off my armor, they should not be able to see me, correct? Okay, now what if... Can they see me if I put on my boots? Because I'm very slow. Oh, this is so much chiller. This is so much nicer. All right, what if I hit you? Okay, he has no idea where I'm hitting him from, but he does have thorns, so to be careful not kill myself. Oh, there's the other one. Hello, friend. Okay, yeah, doing this with invisibility is so much easier. Well, see, there's the other Guardian. All right, I don't think I had any luck with getting a sponge room. Come here, buddy. Perfect. Ooh, I even got a smithing template. But I feel like I've been around this place a couple times and no luck. All right, time for me to go to the next ocean monument. See if I can get a sponge room there. If I can get just one sponge room, I'll call it quits. But if I don't, I'm probably... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Take it off. Take it off. I don't need it anymore. Take it off. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to try this again. Yep. So I went up, and I went that way first. Let's go up and deal with this other Guardian. 5th sponge. Let's go. All right, now let's go this way. Hello? Interesting. Sponge room! Oh, I'm getting caught by magma. And you for some reason. Oh, my invisibility ran out. All right, let me mine this. Oh, wait, I can't because I have mining fatigue. All right, let's just not get caught by it. Hello, sponge room. Okay, I have mining fatigue. Is that going to make it hard to get you? All right, I guess I'll wait for it to pass. Let me go deal with the last Guardian here. Okay. Ooh, a pufferfish. Nice. That'll be helpful for future potions. All right, all sponges have been retrieved. I got 31 total, which is not bad for now. Later, I might go to some other ocean monuments and find more, but I think this is perfect for what I need to do, which is not a lot, so I am going to get out of here. While those are smelting, I am going to see if I have everything else for this farm. All right, I pretty much have everything here except 2 things. I need 2 stacks of magma, and then I need about 9 stacks of glass. It could be any building blocks. I do not want to eat right now. It could be any building blocks, but glass makes it so you can see the squid, you know, fall to their death. So let's go get some sand and some magma blocks. Magma acquired. All right, that should be it. 9 full stacks of sand. All right, I very quickly smelted all that sand into glass, and with this we should have everything. I grabbed a little bit extra stuff so I can get some overflow protection because I'm going to be building these in the spawn chunks. All right, let's head to the spot I have laid out to build it. Here it is, right next to this village at spawn. There's this tiny little river biome, and that's where I'll be building it. I think right on this side we'll have the best spot. I believe the river biome itself is genuinely just this pond. I don't think the stream that it connects to over here is river. So the river biome starts right where it gets deeper right there. This is just a pond. So if I really wanted to, I could just leave all of this water here, but I think I'm gonna push it to here just so it looks a little less unnatural than it's already going to. The farm that I will be building today is made by Shulkercraft. I will put a link to their video in the description in case you want to use it, because it is pretty easy to build and gives you a lot of squid ink. The most complicated part about it just comes from draining the river nearby. Luckily, my river biome is tiny, which is what made me choose this farm, because originally I wanted to do an ocean monument squid farm with the allays, and in all of my testing, I could not get the allays to stop running away. It was just an unreliable farm, and I'm so disappointed because I had this really nice color palette build up for it, and a really nice build, but I couldn't end up using it. So I found this one, and it seems to be pretty nice. It runs really efficiently, and it's super simple. Okay, good news is the storage system is all set up with some overflow protection, and I can confirm that it is working. The last thing I have to do before we can truly test this out with an AFK session is to drain all of this water in the river biome around it. With this area looking ugly and the farm ready, I think all we have to do is AFK to get some of the squid ink together for the canyon, and I'm also going to spend some time going back home to AFK at the wolf farm to see if that works. After doing some AFKing, I'm pleased to announce that we have all of the ink sacks we need and a little extra in these hoppers back here. Not only that, but I did some AFKing at the wool farm and I got all the wool there. Unsurprisingly, I got this in only a few hours, but the wool farm took about 13 hours of AFKing to get everything we needed. Now that that's all done, we are about ready to get all of the other materials together to fill in this canyon, but I do not want to worry about that today. Today, I want to start building some of the structures that are going to fill this canyon, and oh boy, am I excited. This place has looked barren for the longest time. These trees helped add a lot, but a few episodes ago we designed some houses and got some materials, so I think it's about time that we add some civilization to this place. Lucky for me, all of the materials are already here. I might run out of acacia and I might run out of mud bricks, but everything else should last me a while, and either way I just want to start adding some life to this place. So let's go find somewhere to start building. I really just want to add a building down here. It's begging for it, but I'm scared because I really like these overhangs and I don't want to mess them up. What's the worst that could happen? I'm settled. We're gonna do it here. All right, where do I start? Okay, so if we have a line of transportation, you know, a line of traffic coming out of this cave, probably want a small structure over here, maybe like a well or a cart, and then maybe the first structure over here. All right, let's place these blocks back again. This is 5, 6, 7. Don't say anything about that. We'll come out a little bit. Okay, I need to push this back. I think it would be really nice to have a side entrance on this part of the house. If I leave this where it is, it's gonna be too bulky over here. Okay, is that too high? That might be too high. I think 2 blocks is enough. I think I'm reaching somewhere with the shape of the foundation that I really like. I think it's time we start throwing some walls in. Okay. I'm starting to forget what I built in that previous episode. I might need to go pull up that video. Alright, with my brain sufficiently reminded of what it looked like when we had an area where our window was inset, like we might do with this. Our foundation was pulled back. We had cute little arches on either side. Just like that. Looks pretty good. The issue is that this is supposed to be floor level, so this is almost like a doorway and not a window. But you know, hey, some fancy people's homes got those tall windows that start at the floor. These windows, however, I think I'm going to leave above floor height. Kind of like it that way, and I'll probably do something like this with the stairs. Okay, I've been messing with the roof a little bit. I haven't finished that one, obviously, but this one's looking pretty good, and I just want to take a quick moment, maybe go up there and get a nice view of it. It looks so cute. Might be a little small, which is actually good news, because this might mean, ignore that landing, this might mean that I could add the second floor without much issue. All right, I've been tinkering around with adding that second floor that I liked, and ignore this hole, you'll see why it's there later. But I really like this. Once I get this second floor going, I think it's gonna add a lot to this build. I really wish I knew. He still looks like a very surprised, fancy man with a little mustache, like a surprised mumbo jumbo. I think that this building is just gonna look like that. Oh my god. Okay, this is looking absolutely gorgeous. I love this exterior. I'm actually really proud of it in comparison to what I came up with a couple episodes ago. But with this exterior looking good, we need to get the interior prepped for some villagers. All right, I think the main levels are installed. So I've put a little bit of flooring down in this building, and I think I got a nice floor plan for how I want this place to look. And now it's just about actually getting this place filled with stuff, which is something I'm a little worried about. But I know I want a lot of farming related things. With this place being for farmer villagers and all, you'd think there'd be like maybe small plants dotted around the place, and water channels and cauldrons and composters, hay bales. This first room is done, and that only took an hour. This is why I was dreading doing freaking interior design. It's a lot of fun in VR because like everything feels so cohesive, you know. It feels like I can jump as I'm walking by and tap the pole, you know, and like it feels like a lived-in space, or like it makes it easier to build a lived-in space when you're actually standing in it. You know that urge you get at 2 a.m. to redecorate your whole room? VR Minecraft is that. It's all that. But I'm not good at interior design, so it takes a very, very, very long time for anything to get done for me. I think I'm somewhere that I really, really like about this place. It feels a lot more boxed in than it did before. It feels populated. It feels like somebody who likes agriculture lives here. There are lots of plants, wood, little farms dotted around the place. Shelves pretty much everywhere I can. This little copper piping, delivering water throughout the house wherever it needs it. And as somebody who definitely considers myself a novice when it comes to decorating interiors, I'm proud of myself. I think this turned out really nice. With that, this entire house should be done. And now we're just going to need to litter the rest of the canyon with houses like this. And right about now is where you should have noticed the timer come on screen. I can't see it luckily in VR. It will not bother me, but it will be on your screen. And the idea I'm having is I have about 4 hours of free time ahead of me, and I kind of want to see how much building I can get done in 4 hours. Well, before I start, I do want to lay out one very important factor. I'm not doing the interiors, not yet, not during the 4 hours, because if I did, I wouldn't even get through one house. Interior design is too hard for me. I'd have to use too much of my brain. But I've got a little mood board with some medieval desert architecture, and I think I'm ready to go. The next house I want to put is here, and then I think I'm going to move down here, see if I can squeeze anything in this cramped space. This overhang is definitely taller, so I think I'm going to go for skinnier and taller builds over here. But after that, I think we'll push that way. So with that being said, let's get this timer going. All right. With that, it is going. I can't see the timer, unfortunately. Like I said, it is on my computer screen, so I'm going to have to periodically look over there and make sure I'm not going over time. There is a decent chance at the end of this timer, I'm going to get distracted and completely forget I'm even running on a clock. And I'm going to go over time a little bit. The next house, I plan to make a breeder, so I definitely need a lot of space for it. I'm not too worried about it because I can just make it inside the wall. I kind of want like an overhead walkway right here, or no, like a porch. I want a porch above here that everybody can just like kind of walk under going this way. And then, wouldn't it be perfect if later down the line we had a bridge connecting to this side and it goes nowhere? Okay, no more distractions. No more distractions. Let's lock in. All right, that is house 1 complete, not including the interior. I actually really like how it turned out with how little time I had. I love this little connection to the bridge. I think I'm just gonna change this to being the stair. Oh wow, I missed that. The stair and block on top pattern, like on these corners. Boom. Let's go add something over here. I really want to do like a taller building. Oh no, I raised this up 1 extra block. Okay, all right, we have to tear this down immediately. All right. All right, second building, yes. Technically third, but second building of the challenge done. This thing looks so cool. Yeah, that is nice. I might add something drooping on the corners. Okay, now is there something I can do next to it? Or should I move further down the canyon? So I think I'm gonna have a tower come up right here. And it's just gonna be a tower, maybe a dome roof instead of these flat roofs I've been doing. And there's gonna be a walkway connecting the tower to that house. Oh my gosh, my ambitions for this canyon are growing by the second. All right, we're just about to hit 2 hours in, halfway through the timer. I want to give you a little bit of an update. Our tower is almost done. It looks a little bit wider than I expected it to. Maybe I could have cut down the size, but I kind of like it. It's pretty nice. I don't like that block's stuck in there though. And another thing I noticed is this is slightly offset just by a block. So when I go to connect them, I might have to raise it in this corner, but that's no problem. I'm doing the roof a little bit differently. I'm going to try to do a dome. However, don't like that it's the same width as the building. I think I know what to do with this top. I don't think it should be sandstone. I think it should be acacia. And I think I'm going to make a small dome, like a shorter dome, because that looks like it's going to be huge. And then maybe a smaller dome on top of that. Like, it's going to be like a second tiny little tower that comes out of the top of the dome. And then on top of that is going to be another dome. So it's going to kind of like triangle effect to get smaller. It's going to be really nice, I think. The hallway is done. We are 2 hours and 40 minutes in. We have an hour 20 minutes left. This side is done. This side is done. I need to figure out where I'm going to build next. Our next location has brought us here. I think I want a diagonal building coming out of here, and then maybe a rounded corner, and then a part that comes up and juts on this side. And I think that might be the last building we have time for in this little 4-hour challenge. And boom. Okay, this building is done, and I want to take a look at it, but do not have time to build any more buildings. I know that much for sure. Ooh, okay, that window looks really nice. I like the way it came out. Okay, I really, really like this. I'm glad that I only left this one floor. I was supposed to make it 2, but I'm kind of happy with where it's at. But we're pretty much done. I do have some time left, about 16 minutes. I know that's not enough time to get any other builds done, but there is something I can do. All of my blocks have been mined up. Besides that one, okay. And you'll notice I have only kept mud in my inventory, and that is because I want to go around and at least with the last 15 minutes I have, place an outline of where I want the next buildings to be. Maybe we should do a couple like small ones. Okay, I like that. We have a few outlines, one up, a couple up there, 2 right here. I think it'd be cool if we had a building right here and the second floor connected to this. Maybe like a tower. Yeah, if we had a small tower here, that'd be perfect. And then, oh, we could totally put kind of like a skinny building right over here that's kind of hiding itself. Okay, that works. We can definitely put something up here. Maybe, I think it would be cute if this area kind of had a market, and this area is wide enough and flat enough to do something like that. Maybe we could put against this wall some very, very skinny buildings. Okay, I like that. Some buildings right here hiding against this wall. And then I think we need one more building on this side. Okay, perfect. I think that is the last outline. We'll have one building here where one side's kind of a little bit taller, and then right here we'll have another building, and maybe this one will be taller than both of these combined. I'd like to have them connect in the middle. We'll fix that between them later. But I think that is it. We have 6 minutes left. I gotta say, doing a 4-hour challenge to build these houses was actually some of the most fun I've had building in the longest time. Not to say that I don't have fun building usually, but something about being on a timer and trying to be fast, but also methodical about it. It really put me into quite the flow state. It was a lot of fun. But with these buildings looking absolutely gorgeous, I think it's time that we just go through and finish the entire canyon's buildings in one fell swoop. So with these buildings that are up here at the top, especially the ones pressed against the wall, I think they're going to be taller, just like the one under me. I think it covers up this hole in the canyon where this mountain was kind of peeking through pretty nicely. I'll have to do something with that tiny crack you might be able to see in between that tiny building right there and this bigger one. But I like the composition of it, like this big, medium, small size ratio between them. It's really nice. Next on the to-do list is this little ledge of the canyon. I've already got all the foundation in. My plan is, I think I want all of these buildings to be tall, except maybe the third from the left. I think I'll have that one be a little bit shorter, just so everything doesn't look very identical. Last building in this group is done. We can move on to... I kind of don't want to be near these guys, so let's go over there. For this building, I'm not planning to do anything too crazy. Just throw in a couple of horizontal windows to kind of give it that like spine look, and then throw the roof on and call it a day. Now this corner is going to be something not to behold. It's going to be pretty small. I think these two squares are fine. I'm going to leave them there. But now that I got some mud bricks back from replacing some of these foundations with jungle wood, all right, these three little buildings are complete. Next up, we have this little tower looking foundation that I set up. And I think one more building up the side of that canyon. And with those buildings completely done, we can now move on to actually adding things to these buildings. For the longest time, I've been planning for this canyon to be a food empire. And the more I thought about it and the more I've worked on it, I'm kind of starting to shift focus away from a food producing empire and more of a villager outpost. Not a villager outpost, but a farming outpost. Because one day, over in this direction, I have this huge savanna biome. I think it would be really cool to put this massive farm with wheat, carrots, potatoes, animals, farms for all of those things, all in that area. So if I do it for this canyon, I'm kind of defeating the purpose of doing anything for a farm over here. Instead, I'm going to build a couple small farms for chicken and feathers, and then beef and leather. And then I'm just going to have the rest of whatever buildings I need to be reserved for villager traders only. I just need to decide which building our breeder's going to go in. I already have this building laid out, and I think I might put a couple more villager spots in that small building. So I think this building right here might actually be perfect. And then we can have the villager like pen where all the baby villagers go right here, and the minecart can come out of the side of the building or into the building and out. And now we could put another portal right next to this building so that when I have villagers ready, so when I steal the villagers, I can bring them to this portal, right, Flower? But I suppose before we get any villagers in here, we have to actually build the breeder. The farm has officially been moved. Up here looks pretty similar, except for the beds that actually make this place functional. And down here, we've got the villager pen ready to go. So before I continue decorating the rest of this place for an infection station and a curing station, let's go get a couple villagers. We now have a working villager breeder with the biome variant I want. Mostly. This is technically not the jungle. This is savanna, but I think they look cool. And we're in a jungle, so I'm either going to get these red coats or I'm going to get the jungle like I intended. Either way, this is a win. All right, and one AFK session later, you can already hear them. This thing has been a massive success. I got a mix of the savanna and the jungle villagers, which I'm very happy with. And you might think that this is a little overkill, and I'm inclined to agree with you. I think I might need to shut this farm off for a moment. Huh? How How the heck did he get in there? Was there so many villagers in here that they pushed each other up until he got in there? Is that what happened? Oh my goodness. Excuse me. That's fixed. And now we can close that gate and turn this farm off so they can stop breeding. Oh my god, you guys are nasty. Prices avoided. All right. Now we have all of the villagers we could ever possibly need for this canyon. But before I do any zombie setup, any curing, I do have one small farm or two that I want to build. I have some materials for it. I need to get a little bit more, but the plan is that I want to have a small scale cow farm and a small scale chicken farm. Fence goes there, and now they are stuck. I'll decorate this place later, but for now, I just want to get these farms going. Now this one should be working just fine. We're done with getting chickens in here. Just like the cows, I'm going to come here and breed these guys every so often. So hopefully soon I will have a bunch of chicken in here. Hopefully this guy won't shoot me. I'm going to pick up all my blocks and go back to the villager breeders so I can get this infection step going. It's also nighttime, so I might be able to get me a zombie. Oh, there's a zombie. I was hoping for somebody a little bit more armored, but he'll have to do. Ooh, an even closer zombie. Come here, friend. Now let's see if I could put my old Call of Duty zombie skills to the test and train this guy. Did you seriously get stuck on a single trapdoor? Come here. Come on. Come on. Yes. Alright. Now we have 2 zombies. I don't think we're going to need to. But just in case something goes wrong, somebody dies, it'll be nice to have an extra. Ooh, you have armor. I like you. I like that you have armor. Come with me. Ooh, you're fighting. Ooh, you got a fighting wheel. All right, there we go. Everything's chill. I don't think I need you, but we're going to keep you around for a bit longer, so consider yourself a little bit lucky. All right, now that these guys... It is so loud in here. And now that these guys are here, we can actually start building our curing station setup. All right, and for this to work, we need a spot for about 5 villagers to go all lined up against the wall. So I think right here should be perfect. And the plan is, and this is not original at all, I will link the video I saw that inspired me. It's by a person called Bjorn Minecraft, I think. I'll have them all lined up, and then I'll send one of them away to get infected. And once he's infected, I'll send it back, and they'll infect the rest of them. They'll just infect each other. With that done, let me give you the tour. So as you come in, you can see this nice little lighting fixture. Back here, we've got some storage and some plants dotted around the place. Now down here, it's a little more bland in the center area, and that is because this rail is going to divert to one of these slots. But the way it works is, let's just do it. I'm going to grab a villager, and he should stop right there. I did kind of forget that there's a thing. Is there dirt above there? Yes, there is. Well, he doesn't suffocate, so that's the important part. And now that he's here, I can take whatever workstation I need and set in front of him. Hopefully, he'll see it. All right, after some very long and irritating testing, I realized, but the biggest problem were these guys. I had a wall right here where this block is, and these villagers had their sneaky little heads peeking out, and for some reason, they thought they could take this, what is it called? Composter. There we go. My brain's so fried. I'm so gone right now. Anyway, let's give this a proper test. Okay, villagers still come out, so I didn't even need the walls. And he takes a trade easily. Let's just do a few tests. Twice. 3 times. 4 times. 5 times. Okay, I think it's safe to say that this is actually working. I spent probably a good hour on this. I'm not even kidding. It's so sad. But with this working, we can finally get started on getting some villagers. I'm going to get 5 farmer villagers, 3 for this building right here, and probably 2 for that building. And then I'm going to get 1 armor, 1 toolsmith, 1 weaponsmith, And then I'm going to attempt to get as many masons as I can. But right now we need some farmer villagers. All of my villagers are ready. They're a little bit upset at me because they saw me hit somebody, but that's okay. Now let's see if this thing works as intended. So I'm going to press this button and it's going to send him. Oh, he bounced back. Okay. There we go. Now he's a zombie villager boy. And he's going to come back. Interesting. I think I'm just going to need to make it go around so he can go straight on it and stop bouncing off people. Go that way. Go that way. Oh yeah, yeah. If he sees me, he's not gonna attack the villager. Okay. All right, here we go. All of these guys, beautiful and zombified. Let's cure them. And since they're all in a line, I should be able to just take the splash potion and cover all 5 of them at once. And cure them all super easily. All right, while these guys are curing, oh, one's already done. Heck yeah. Yes, while these guys are still curing, I am going to make a pathway up to that building so I can get some of these villagers in their homes. Oh yeah, they all cured and then reinfected each other. All right, let's do that one more time. But this just means I'll get lower prices, so I'm not too worried about it. So in case, I don't know if I want them to zombify again, all I have to do is flick all of these levers, and once they turn, they shouldn't be able to target each other again. I've been curing guys for a little while. Most of these guys are down to 1, except these 2. This one has a 7, this one has a 7 and a 3. I'm going to leave these 2 here. I'm going to send these 3 off to their new homes, and then I'll fill these vacant slots with masons, toolsmiths, weaponsmiths, armors, and then I'll cure them again until at least the carrots hit 1. I might not worry too much about the potatoes. But next up, we have to keep getting more villagers, and we have to build the homes for these villagers. Here's villager number 1 in his cell. Get him a nice hat. This is villager number... Get in there. Number 2 in his place. Villager number 3 is in his pen, and now we can go decorate the interior for the next house. All right, I'm back a couple days later, and these guys' trades went down a little lower. So I think I'm just going to send them off to their homes when it's built, because next I need to actually get the interiors for the rest of the villagers, and not just the farmers, but also masons, an armor, a toolsmith, and a weaponsmith. First is this house, which is next to the very first house I built, complete with a nice interior. But over here, I got started, but this place needs a lot of work. And the interior is done. I really like how it came out. I can very soon get the villagers into their stations. But while I'm here, I want to work on this little upstairs area because it's looking a little strange. What would life be like here? Well, maybe like some kind of workshop up on the roof would be cool. We're done. This building is complete. We have this nice little side entrance for storage. We come inside and we have 2 spots for villagers and all these beautiful things relating to crops. We come upstairs and we have a little workshop fit with a saw so we can chop up all this wood. It connects to the first house I built, but you guys already know what that looks like. He's not a part of the build. Don't worry about him. Over here, we have some plants that these people are maybe showing to the sun to see what kind of effects it has on them. But they're plants, so it's going to be pretty obvious. Next up, let's start with this beautiful round building. The inside is not done at all, but I think I know the direction I want to go with it. And for this building, I want to put all of my masons in here. This canyon isn't meant to be the main location for all my masons, but I want to get some in here for now, just in case I want some terracotta before I have a project dedicated to masons. And the same thing will go for the next few houses. How can I do a diagonal line that's thinner? That kind of works. All right, now the reason I want to do this is I don't think there's going to be a lot of room for like working in this hallway. This room seems more like a commerce hall. This is for trading. If I have the main workroom back here with stone cutters, anvils, and furnaces, how did they get things in here? So I thought it would be fun to play around with this kind of conveyor belt or like railway that goes overhead and brings the ore to this room via a suspended cart. It was trolleys, overhead trolleys is what I was looking for. Pretty much during the older wars, like the Civil War and World War I, places like bunkers and batteries and forts, the places that were bombed and used along coasts, would have a lot of ammunition for their cannons inside the bunker. This ammunition is pretty heavy, so they can't just carry it out most of the time. They would have trolleys in here, and in some cases they would have overhead trolleys to transport the ammunition from storage to the canyons. And I saw one of these in Oregon when I visited a few months ago, and it's pretty cool to think about. And I thought it would be a good idea to implement that here, where people are moving large amounts of ore. I don't need this place to be at all complicated up here. I have no reason to come up here. I could throw more masons if I need to. So if I get a little bit extra in the mason department, I'll consider building up here. All right, now that this building is looking a little bit more finished and ready for villagers, I gotta empty my inventory so that I could work on the next buildings, which are these three bad boys. Let's start with the armor. Now that we're done with all the interiors for this canyon, I think we can now finally get the last of the villagers we need. And after checking on these guys again, their trades got a little bit lower, except their potatoes, still at 2, but I'm not too concerned about having super low potato trades right now. So let's get these guys into their homes. All right. Hello, my friends. Are we ready to begin this process once more? First up, I want to get the armor, the toolsmith, and the weaponsmith. All right, now with the armor, while the first couple sets of trades for the novice and the apprentice, those ones are randomized, I could get the boots, the leggings, the chest, the helmet, or coal trades, but the last couple trades are the ones that I really want. And those ones are not randomized, which are diamond armor trades. So I don't really care what this guy gets first. I just need some emeralds, which now that I think about it, I might need to do some trading with my new farmers, because at home and at Victory Industries, I have a bunch of shulkers of carrots, and I'm starting to overflow on watermelon as well. This is the perfect opportunity to clear my storage a little bit. Okay, after trading not even like a fraction of my supply, I already have a stack of emerald blocks, or at least enough emeralds to make it, and then almost 6 stacks, actually almost 7 stacks of golden carrots. And not only that, but I've gotten enough XP from this place to repair all of my tools, armor, and get myself to level 44. I think I started at 35. All right, let's finally get some villagers going. Okay, wait, I'll probably trade with you after I cure you, because I don't even need you to be max level yet. All right, you can get sent off to the curing station. Now for the toolsmith, you can have coal or any of the stone tools. And I think I want coal. It's just the easiest to trade. Okay, the toolsmith has a trade right before master, where he could either do a diamond for an emerald or emeralds for 2 diamond tools. And then it won't be the biggest deal what he ends up getting. So let's just get him ready to be cured. We got our armor, our toolsmith, and now we need grindstones for the weaponsmiths. There's only a couple things they could trade, and this is pretty much exactly what I want. Goodbye, my friend. We have our main players. Now let's get some masons in the game. Well, that is my last villager, and unfortunately I did not get orange terracotta, which was one of the terracottas I wanted, but I think that's okay. Boom. All right, that's the final villager cured. I can send him on his way and get these guys into their spots. Hello, friends. Wow, we got a packed house today, don't we? Okay, everybody is in their cells with a stone cutter assigned to each of them, and nobody escaped. Everything went on without really any failures. The last thing I got to do is very quickly destroy this ugly path that I created. With all of their villagers in place, we finally have a good use for this canyon. We can trade all of the carrots, melons, pumpkins, and eventually wheat and beetroot that we will accumulate for emeralds, change that into golden carrots, which is my main source of food. And on top of that, we were able to get some mason's armor, toolsmith, and a weaponsmith. And next up, we're going to start filling in the empty pit below us that's been sitting there for a while. But that's for next time. With that being said, my name is Goober. Until next time.